Hello, welcome to Gurukul's Cat 100 series, a series that's designed specifically to take you from your study room to the corporate boardroom. I am Pradyumna Sharma and this is Verbal Mastery with Prady.
Hello everyone, welcome back to day 70 of our 100 Days to Cat test series powered by the Gurukul. Now, we have 5 good VA questions for you to practice today. In case you want to take this up as a test, all you've got to do is go on to www.thegurukul.org.in and sign up for the 100 Days to Cat test series. In case you want to follow along with this video, then this is your first question. Pause the video here, solve this question, and then we're going to go into the second. This is your second question. Pause the video here, solve this question, and then we're going to move into the third question. This is your third question. Pause the video here, solve this question, and then we're going to move into the fourth question. This is your fourth question, guys. Pause the video here, solve this question, and then we're going to move into the last question for the day. Now, this is the last question for the day. Pause the video here, solve this question, and then we're going to move into the explanations of all these questions. So, what does he say in the first question? This is a para completion type of question with the sentence saying, archaeologists continue to marvel at the architectural ingenuity and cultural complexity of the ancient Nabateans who built Petra. So, the architectures are in awe of these people who built a particular city. Now, the paragraph says, excavations beginning in 1958 by the British School of Archaeology in Jerusalem and later by the American Center of Oriental Research greatly expanded our knowledge of Petra. Okay, so these two excavations happened and that gave us some, information about Petra. This site or the site is accessed from the east. So, the site is clearly nothing but Petra. Yes. So, me placing anything over here, yes, will be disrupting the flow of Petra being connected with the site. So, definitely blank 1 is not our correct choice. So, the site is accessed from the east through the narrow Sikh or Wadi al-Sikh, where visitors first encountered the Khazana or Khazana, okay, a large tomb. Equally famous is Al-Dair, the monastery, a rock-cut monument that once served as both an unfurnished tomb facade and a Byzantine church. Okay, so he's basically telling where can you get to the Petra from. Okay, many tombs with elaborate facades now function as dwellings, so these have now become homes, while the well-preserved high place of sacrifice remains a cultic altar dating from biblical times. Also, there's some kind of a place for sacrifice which become like a monument of sorts from the biblical times. Now, if I were to put this sentence in blank 2, okay, why are the archaeologists continuing to marvel? Does not really come because we've so far only talked about the cultural significance. The architectural ingenuity has not yet come out very clearly. So, I'm not going to be placing this at 2 either. Petra's advanced hydrological system comprising dams, cisterns, carved channels and ceramic pipes supported its large populations. Excavations in 1993 have uncovered additional temples and monuments that reveal the city's rich traditions. So, now if you look at this part is talking to me about the architecture, yes, and this part is reinforcing the cultural part, yes. Because of these two parts, I can definitely think of placing this over 3. Okay, now let's see if it actually continues with that or not. Designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985, Petra now faces challenges from floods and tourism. So, if I were to take this sentence and place it at 4, the topic has already moved on. So, this sentence looks like a conclusion to us, correct? So, definitely we should not be placing the sentence at 4. So, the best possible place for us would be 3. And the correct answer should be B, option 3. Now let's move into the second question. Now this question is a odd man out type of question. So for the first time in 25 years, the US Food and Drug Administration has approved a new class of painkiller called suzetrigine, sold under the brand name of Jernavix. Okay, so this talks to me about something relating to an FDA approval for a drug. Okay. Suzetrigine is administered as a 50 milligram oral tablet taken twice daily to treat moderate to severe pain. So this talks to me about what? Usage of the said drug. Third one, clinical trials demonstrated that suzetrigine provides pain relief comparable to opioid-based medications, but without the same risk of addiction. So this talks to me about the efficacy of that drug. Yes. Now the fourth one, this approval is significant milestone in the effort to address the opioid crisis, which has devastated communities across the United States. Now there's 2 important points over here, guys. The first important point is this approval directly relates to the FDA approval. Yes. Now, when we are looking at the opioid states that are there, okay, what can I understand? This has devastated communities. This opioid crisis has devastated communities. So I can say that now this drug is giving me the same type of pain relief without actually the risk of addiction. Correct. So this 4 is linking 3, 1 and 4. Now fifth statement. So definitely one of 2 or 5 should be my odd man out. So the fifth statement. The new painkiller offers an effective treatment for acute pain while posing the fewer risks than opioids, marking an important step forward in medical innovation. Again, I have a comparison with opioids, okay, and I'm saying that this new painkiller is offering something, yes, which is what I have seen in this particular line. So definitely for me, the odd man out would be 2, okay, and the correct order should be 1, 4, 5 and 3. Okay, so let's move on to the third question. Now the third question also is an odd man out type of question. So let's read it and try to understand how the links are formed. Bats rely on echolocation to detect and hunt prey, with moths being a common target. So bats are using some kind of echolocation technology. So to hunt moths is what we understand from this particular sentence. Moths have evolved a defense mechanism, sound absorbing scales on their wings that reduce the effectiveness of bat echolocation. So here I see that there's an echo for our word of echolocation, and it's kind of giving me, like, you know, a relevant idea. Okay, bats want to hunt moths using echolocation. Moths have evolved a defense mechanism, some kind of a sound absorbing scale, so that the effectiveness of echolocation goes down. So clearly these two can be put together. This adaptation allows moths to evade predators by minimizing their acoustic signature during flight. Okay, so maybe this adaptation could be this defense mechanism, maybe. Okay, but 1, 2, 3 so far seem very, very in coherence. Okay, fourth one, the ultrasonic calls of bats are not only used for hunting but also for communication within their colony. See, so far the theme across these 3 has been hunting. Right, now the theme over here is communication. So if the theme over here is hunting, then absolutely 4 will be our odd man. A recent study highlights how these sound absorbing wing scales play a crucial role in the ongoing predator-prey arms race between the bats and moths. So now I can think that 1 and 2 are together. Okay, now 5 can be a part after 2, okay, where a study is highlighting how these sound absorbing wing scales, okay, so the echo comes from here, yes, and then I can go to 3. So this adaptation has allowed moths to evade predators. Okay, who are those predators? Predators are the bats, right? So our correct order should be 1, 2, 5 and 3, with 4 as our odd man out. Okay, now let's go to the fourth question. The passage given below is followed by 4 alternative summaries. Okay, so this is a para summary type of a question. The paragraph says, to be in command of one's actions and responsible for their consequences has long been a requirement of full selfhood. Okay, so here we are getting a definition of what full selfhood means. But our modern meritocratic neoliberal era has taken this belief to a new extremes. Okay, so initially this was the definition, but now we have taken this to an extreme case. What is that extreme case? Self-control now entails being responsible for almost everything that might have an impact on our life and its trajectory. External events and exigencies, a sudden health crisis, changing global economic conditions, economic bubbles need to be accounted for by sound contingency plans, insurance, savings, and broad and adaptable skill set. Okay, so now we understand that initially it was just one's own actions and responsibilities, but right now our self-control needs to be so evolved that it's responsible for everything. Okay, we need to be able to plan for every single thing. Today, self-control isn't just honored, it's demanded, and taking control of oneself according to this mindset means somehow controlling the whole world. Okay, so basically if you're having self-control, it's almost like you have to be able to control everything in the world. So modern society has elevated self-control to an extreme, expecting individuals to take responsibility for nearly all aspects of their life, including uncontrollable events. Now what is wrong with this option? When we are looking at this, It says that modern society has elevated self-control to an extreme, expecting individuals to take responsibility for nearly all aspects, including uncontrollable external events. Now, this seems like a good answer, but somewhere it's missing the details that needs to be put into it. Okay, the details like the kind of era that has come up, the tone is not very in sync. So I'll just keep this aside. If I do not find a better answer, then definitely I will take this up as my correct answer. B. In today's meritocratic and neoliberal era, so now the type of era has come into the picture. Self-control involves being prepared for external crises with self-responsibility extending beyond one's direct actions. Now again, this seems good, just like A, but again this is a distractor option. Why is this a distractor option? Because this is clearly telling you that you only need to be prepared. You need to be prepared for external crises. So it's not only crises, right? It's basically everything, all the events, correct? So this, because of the word crises, does not fit the actual tone of the passage. C. Self-control historically linked to selfhood in the modern neoliberal era. So again, self-control which was linked to selfhood. So again, exactly what we get from the passage. In the modern neoliberal era, demands not only personal responsibility, but also account for external events. So yes, we need personal responsibility, we need external events also. So this is a better answer than A, so we can take off A. D. The neoliberal demand for self-control imposes unrealistic expectations on individuals, holding them accountable for both personal and external circumstances. Now see, over here, it becomes imposes unrealistic expectations. Where did he say that it was unrealistic expectations? Nowhere has he mentioned such a thing, right? So D will not be our correct answer. The best possible answer now becomes C. Now, this is our last question, and this is a para summary type of question. Now, what's he saying in this passage? On one hand, the internet we knew is rapidly disappearing and taking large parts of us with it. On the other hand, its absence is met with flood of content that's non-human and often incorrect and ever increasing. As more information vanishes from the internet, be it photographs of dogs we paste on Facebook account or that Meta deleted, or an online game world that crashed with current code, a piece of history is lost. So basically he's saying that whatever original human content that we have posted on internet is being removed, okay, either by the accounts itself or by the aggregator like Facebook or Meta. So all that information is being removed, and in its stead, what is happening? Non-human content is put, which is often incorrect, which is mostly not correct. The misinformation that can stem from generative AI's hallucinations is the flip side of a completely lack of records. So because there are no records per se of this generative AI, okay, or because there are no records per se of our human content, this generative AI is able to bring in its own imaginations and place it in the placeholder of our own memories. The misinformation that can stem from generative AI's hallucinations is the flip side to a completely lack of records. So when original human content is being taken away, then generative AI and its wild imaginations are being put in its stead. When generative AI tools fail to understand a prompt or unable to find information to answer that question, they instead fill in the gaps with whatever seems most plausible. Not only does the generative misinformation that falls on the user to verify, but it also creates additional content for other AI tools to use as a source, creating a chain loop of false memories presented as a fact. So basically it's not only that the information that the AI has generated, we have to verify it, so we need to know if it's true or not, and that onus is completely on us. But other AI tools can use this information as a fact, so it will become a chain, and all of this chain is just nothing but misinformation. So let's check what answer actually suits us the best. A. The internet is vanishing along with our personal data, while generative AI exacerbates misinformation by providing unverifiable and non-human false information. Fine. This answer looks clear. It tells us what exactly is happening in the passage. So I'll just keep this as the answer for now. If I get a better answer, then I'll remove this. Okay. B. As the internet loses vast amounts of content, generative AI contributes to a growing crisis by generating plausible but false information, creating a loop of misinformation. Now, when I look at B, I see that plausibility of information that's being created by generative AI has come up. Okay, so amongst A and B, B becomes a better answer now. So I'll take B because it has more ideas that are captured from the passage than A. Now let's look at C. Content loss on the internet threatens personal data and privacy. Now first of all, there's nowhere on the passage that's mentioned about threatening personal data and privacy. So obviously C cannot be our correct answer. D. The disappearance of internet content erodes digital history. That means it takes off digital history, with generative AI filling the void through misinformation cycles fueled by non-human and faulty responses. Now, this also actually contributes to most of the information, but when I'm looking at B and D, B seems to be a better answer because it's actually taking what is mentioned from the passage and the ideas are coming in the same tone as the passage. So we're gonna not take D as the correct answer. The best answer now becomes B. Now, if you watch this video till here, please do not forget to hit that like button. It motivates us a lot to keep bringing videos like this for you every single day. Subscribe to this channel and share this channel with your friends who are preparing for CAT 2025. I'll see you in the next video.
Hope you enjoyed learning from today's session.
This series is designed to help you with your CAT preparation and practice daily. We are with you in this journey.
To watch the next video, click here. And to watch Gurukul's CAT 100 series, study room to boardroom, the entire playlist, click here.
If you learned from today's session, like, share, and subscribe.